Believe it or not, one of the easiest ways to help reduce plaque and tartar on your cat's teeth doesn't involve brushing at all. In fact, it may be something you can add to their bowl tonight. Most cat owners have never heard of it, and many are unknowingly making tartar worse every single day. In this video, you'll discover what it is, how it works, and which common mistake could be speeding up dental problems in your cat right now. Number 1, bone broth. Bone broth has been a kitchen healer for generations, and for your cat, it's a clever delivery trick. On its own, it won't scrape a single tooth. But a splash of warm, homemade broth turns every other remedy on this list into something she actually wants to eat. The fussy cat who turned up her nose at the powder will lap up the whole bowl when it smells like broth. The catch is enormous, so listen closely. It must be homemade, with no onion, no garlic, and no added salt. Onion and garlic are toxic to cats, even more dangerous for them than for dogs. And store-bought broth is packed with all three. Just simmer plain meat bones in water. Strain, cool, done. How to give it? Pour 1 to 2 tablespoons of warm broth over her meal, or serve it in a small bowl on the side. You can do this daily, or 3 to 4 times a week. A little goes a long way. It's the spoonful of sugar that makes the medicine go down, without the sugar. But the next one is the real scrubber, nature's own toothbrush, and the one that splits vets right down the middle. Raw, meaty bones. Long before kibble existed, this is how cats kept their teeth clean, by tearing through raw flesh and bone. A correctly sized raw meaty bone, like a raw chicken neck or wingtip, forces her to gnaw and pull, and that natural shearing action scrapes plaque off the back teeth where tartar loves to hide. Done right, it's one of the most effective cleaners there is. But read this part twice, because this is the one that splits vets in half. The bone must be raw, never cooked, since cooked bone splinters and can pierce her insides. It must be the right size so she can't swallow it whole. Always supervise. Handle it like raw chicken for hygiene, and this is not optional. Ask your own vet first, especially if she has any tooth or tummy issues. How to give it? Offer 1 raw chicken neck or wingtip on a clean plate. Supervise the whole time and take it away after about 10 to 15 minutes. Once or twice a week is plenty. Never daily, as it's too rich for everyday feeding. It's powerful, but it carries real risk, so respect it. The next one gives you most of that benefit with almost none of the danger, and it goes straight into the bowl. Enzymatic water additive. This is the one the title is really about. The thing you add to the bowl that works while you do absolutely nothing. A vet-approved enzymatic water additive goes straight into your cat's water, tasteless and odorless, releasing enzymes that break down plaque every single time she drinks throughout the day. No brushing, no fight, no wrestling match at the sink, which, with a cat, you would lose anyway. But here's the catch, because the shelf is flooded with useless ones making big promises. Look for the Veterinary Oral Health Council mark, the VOHC seal. That seal means it actually passed real testing instead of just clever marketing. Follow the dosing on the label exactly, and keep the bowl spotless. How to give it? Measure the exact dose from the label into her fresh water bowl and stir. Do it every single day when you refresh her water. Consistency is the whole point. It's the closest thing to effortless on this entire list, but the next one she'll beg for. And it scrubs her teeth while she thinks she's just getting a treat. Dental treats. Some of the best dental work your cat will ever do, she'll think is just a treat. A good feline dental treat is shaped with ridges and a texture that scrapes the tooth as she crunches, and many carry enzymes that keep working long after she's finished. To her, it's a snack. To her teeth, it's a daily cleaning. 2 cautions, though. First, hunt for that VOHC seal again, so you know it's actually tested and not just shaped to look the part. Second, these add real calories, and cats gain weight fast, so trim her meals to match. How to give it? Offer 1 or 2 dental treats a day, ideally right after her biggest meal, when plaque first starts forming. Daily is fine. Just count them as part of her food, not on top of it. The whole trick is making the medicine feel like the fun part. But the next one costs nothing at all, and reaches the one spot every treat and additive misses, the 10-second wipe. You don't need a toothbrush and a full-blown wrestling match to make a dent. Wrap a little damp gauze around your finger or grab a cat dental. Wipe and run it along the outside of her teeth for 10 seconds while you're already petting her. That's it. The gum line, right where tooth meets gum, is where tartar gets its first grip, and it's the one spot every additive struggles to reach. A quick daily wipe physically lifts that film off before it sets like concrete. Do it during a calm cuddle and she'll read it as affection, not a chore. How to give it? During a relaxed petting session, rub the outer surfaces of her teeth for about 10 seconds. Start with just the front teeth and work back as she relaxes over days, never forcing it. Aim for daily, but even every other day makes a real difference. 10 seconds a day beats one terrifying vet visit a year, but the next one works on a battlefield you can't even see. Oral probiotics. Here's where it turns invisible. Your cat's mouth isn't just teeth. It's an entire ecosystem of bacteria, some helpful, some destructive. When the bad ones take over, plaque accelerates. A cat-specific oral probiotic floods her mouth with good bacteria that crowd the harmful ones out. Think of it as sending in reinforcements instead of just mopping up the mess. One important note for cats. Skip the kefir and yogurt tricks you'll see online. Most cats are lactose intolerant, and dairy gives them an upset stomach. Use a probiotic made for cats instead, usually a tasteless powder you stir into food. How to give it? Sprinkle the label dose over her wet food and mix it in. Give it every day and be patient. This works over weeks, not minutes, so consistency matters more than anything. Most owners scrub the surface and never fix the war raging underneath. But the next fix is hiding in plain sight. It's the one thing she already eats every single day. A dental diet. Here's a fix hiding in plain sight. The food itself. Most cat kibble shatters the second a tooth touches it, so it does nothing for her teeth. A true dental diet is built completely differently. The kibble is larger and engineered with a fibrous texture, so instead of crumbling, it lets the tooth sink in and get scrubbed on the way through. It's the closest thing to a toothbrush she'll ever willingly eat. Again, look for the VOHC seal so you know it's tested, not just labeled dental for marketing. How to give it? Feed it as her main daily diet, or simply mix a portion into her regular food at every meal. Switch over slowly across 1 to 2 weeks because cats have sensitive stomachs and hate sudden change. Most owners obsess over treats and additives and never think to fix the one thing she eats every single day. But the next one is the gold standard nobody actually does, and done right, it changes everything. Brushing with cat toothpaste. Here's the truth. Nothing on this list beats actually brushing. And almost no cat owner does it. A soft cat toothbrush or finger brush with toothpaste made for cats physically removes plaque better than anything else. And read this twice. Never use human toothpaste. Fluoride and xylitol are genuinely poisonous to cats. Cat toothpaste comes in flavors like chicken or fish, so she treats it like a treat, not a punishment. The secret is going slow. Week 1, just let her lick the paste off your finger. Week 2, touch the brush to one tooth. Build up over weeks until she lets you do the outside surfaces. Rush it once and you'll lose her trust for months. How to give it? Gently brush the outer surfaces of her teeth with cat toothpaste. The gold standard is once a day. But if that's a battle, even 3 times a week beats nothing at all. Most owners think it's impossible with a cat. It isn't. It's just slow. But the next one cleans her mouth just by getting her to drink more. A pet water fountain. Most cats are terrible drinkers, and that's secretly bad for their mouths. Saliva is your cat's built-in rinse, washing bacteria off the teeth all day long. A dehydrated cat makes less of it, so plaque builds faster. The problem? Cats instinctively distrust still water. A flowing pet fountain triggers their instinct to drink, so she sips far more often, keeps her mouth flushed, and dilutes the bacteria sitting on her gums. How to give it? Set up the fountain where she likes to drink and keep it running around the clock. The one rule: rinse it and change the water every couple of days, and deep clean the pump weekly because a dirty fountain does more harm than no fountain. More water in, more bacteria out. It's the one on this list that helps her kidneys at the same time. But the next one turns that same broth into a frozen toy she'll chase around the kitchen. Frozen broth lick cubes. Here's a clever one that cools her down and cleans her up at the very same time. Take that same plain homemade bone broth. Remember, no onion, no garlic, no salt. And freeze it into small cubes. The slow licking and nibbling keeps her tongue and teeth working over the gum line, while the cold soothes any soreness hiding underneath. The only catch is the broth rule itself. Get lazy and use a store-bought stock cube, and you've just handed her something toxic. Homemade only, every time. How to give it? Freeze the broth in an ice cube tray, then drop 1 cube in her bowl on a warm day and let her work at it while you watch. A few times a week, especially in hot weather, is perfect. It's the treat that does double duty. Busy cat, working teeth, 0 effort from you. But the next one is the part no kitchen trick can ever replace. Scheduled vet cleanings. Here's the part no home trick can replace. Everything else on this list slows plaque. But only a professional cleaning, done under anesthesia, can remove tartar that's already hardened and clean below the gum line where the real disease hides. Think of these home methods as stretching the time between cleanings, not erasing the need for them. The word anesthesia scares people, so here's the truth. With proper pre-anesthetic blood work and a good vet, it's routine and safe, and far safer than letting an infected mouth poison her body for years. Anesthesia-free cleanings, by contrast, only polish the visible surface and miss the dangerous part entirely. How often? Get her mouth checked at her regular vet visit at least once a year, and let the vet tell you when a full cleaning is due. For many cats, that lands somewhere between every 1 and 3 years depending on her teeth. It's the backbone of all of this. But the next one is the skill that lets you catch trouble months before your vet ever would. Knowing the warning signs. Cats are masters at hiding pain, so the owner who can read the signs has a huge advantage. Watch for the quiet tells: bad breath that's suddenly worse, drooling, pawing at her mouth, chewing on only one side, dropping food mid-bite, or a paw she pulls back when her cheek is touched. A faint pink tinge in the water bowl or on a toy can mean bleeding gums. None of these are just getting old. They're early alarms. The warning here is simple but serious. Don't wait to see if it passes. In cats, a sore mouth almost never heals on its own, and a hidden infection can quietly damage her kidneys and heart over time. How to do it? Once a week, lift her lip during a calm cuddle and take a 5-second look at her teeth and gums, and stay alert to how she's eating day to day. If you spot any sign, call your vet. Don't wait. Spotting it early is the difference between a wipe down and a surgery. But the next one decides how closely you need to be watching in the first place. Knowing her breed and age. Some cats are simply born with worse odds, and knowing that lets you stay one step ahead. Flat-faced breeds like Persians and Himalayans have crowded, misaligned teeth that trap plaque, and breeds like Siamese and Abyssinians are prone to early gum disease. Senior cats, too, are far more likely to develop painful problems hiding under the gum line. None of this is your fault, but it does mean some cats need you watching closer and starting sooner. The mistake to avoid is assuming a young or healthy-looking cat is safe. Dental disease is the most common health problem in cats, and it builds silently for years before it shows. What to do? If she's flat-faced, a high-risk breed, or a senior, simply do everything on this list more often. Check her mouth weekly without fail, and lean harder on daily methods like the wipe and the water additive. So know what you're working with, and adjust how often you check and clean. But before you run off and try any of these, there's one hard truth that changes how you use every single thing on this list. The truth about tartar. Now, the hard truth nobody selling miracle powders will ever tell you, including, honestly, the promise in this video's title. Everything so far slows or removes plaque. The soft, sticky stage. But once plaque sits long enough, it hardens into tartar. That yellow-brown cement locked onto the tooth. And no liquid, no powder, no broth on earth dissolves hardened tartar. Anyone promising it vanishes overnight is exaggerating, and you deserve to know that. What these things actually do is buy time. They stop fresh plaque from ever reaching that stage. So if your cat already has thick brown buildup, red gums, or bad breath, she needs a real veterinary cleaning first, and these become her protection afterward, not instead of it. This is the part vets genuinely wish more owners understood. With cats especially, dental disease hides until it's serious. Prevention is cheap. Waiting costs you an expensive procedure, and costs her a few teeth. Catch it early. So here's the only thing I want you to do tonight. Don't try all of these at once. That's far too much for one small cat, and you'll quit by the weekend. Pick just 2 things, 1 food and 1 way. 1 food, maybe a raw chicken neck she can gnaw, a splash of homemade bone broth over dinner, or a proper dental treat. And 1 way, the water additive in her bowl, that 10-second wipe while you pet her, or the first slow step of brushing. Just those 2. Start tonight. That's how clean teeth actually happen. Not in one big push, but in one small habit you can keep. So tell me down in the comments, which food and which way are you starting with today? Type it out. Raw chicken neck plus the water additive, bone broth plus the wipe, whatever yours is. Writing it down makes you 10 times more likely to actually do it. And drop your cat's name while you're at it. I read every single one. Now go take care of that little mouth. She's hiding more than she's letting on.